labeled 13 as a bad luck number. What is beyond 12 belongs to Shiva, what is below 12 belongs to Devi. But this is a culture where we worship the woman. Women were considered inauspicious. What is beyond 12 belongs to Shiva, what is below 12 belongs to Devi. Oh, Shiva's got more numbers? No, that's not how it is. No, because there are some feminists. I want you to understand, this is ultimate feminism. This is ultimate feminism where a woman and all the processes of her body are worshipped, not seen as high and low. So why 11 is? Probably this is not yet well established in the modern sciences, but in the yogic science, the material dimensions of the world, the material dimensions of creation are in 11 dimensions. Everything that's material is 11. If it moves to the 12th dimension, it starts dissolving into becoming non-material or non-physical in nature. So what is beyond 12 is Shiva's realm. Shiva means that which is not. So beyond 12, it is no more physical, it is that which is not. What is below 12 is 11, so this is that which is. So Devi is consecrated in a way that everything that we do with her is 11. You see, even her Trishulam is at 11 o'clock. We are located at 11 degrees latitude. All these things have fallen well together. The way space and time is conceptualized in the form of material manifestation of creation, even in modern science, is moving towards… theoretical physics is moving towards clearly saying there are 11 brains or 11 membranes or 11 universes or trans-universes. Beyond that is non-physical dimensions. Still there is existence, but not particular in nature, not material in nature. The deepest trench that you find in the oceans of this world is 11 kilometers. Because the design of what happens in the creation is based on certain fundamentals. One thing manifests in one way, everything else is related to that. There is something called as a constructional theory that they have gone into these days, and they are clearly saying the design of an atom and the design of the cosmos are same. The fundamental design of an amoeba and that of a human being is the same. Only the complexity and sophistication has multiplied manyfold over, so it looks so different, but fundamentally it is the same thing. So because of this, in the material world, so many things hang around number 11, because that is the dimension we are representing as Devi. To find success and victory in the material world, if you transit from this, go into 12, we are only thinking of mukti, that is being liberated from the material world.
Devi temples, number 11 is always important because in the 28-day cycle of womanhood, the 11th day is very significant. If one does certain sadhana, not for the men, the women do certain sadhana, naturally their their own physical cycle will get aligned with the cycle of the moon. Those of you who are onto the Devi sadhana. And then the 11th day becomes a day when the body shifts from one aspect to another, and the next 4 days can be very significant in terms of spiritual sadhana and experience.
There is a solar cycle and there is a lunar cycle. Solar cycle generally works for us with a 12 as a basic calculation. It can be further divided, but 12 works for us. As lunar cycle, it is 13. Whichever culture went against everything that's feminine, labeled 13 as a bad luck number. They're calling you all bad luck. Yes. Generally, unfortunately, women were considered inauspicious, not allowed to read the sacred book, not allowed to do any sacrament. But this is a culture where we worship the woman. And here there are women who are completely bossing the temple. It's their temple, men cannot enter. They can, but they can't go into the sanctum. Because this whole idea of what is superior, what is inferior comes because you're applying one dimension of your intelligence to everything. One dimension of see, it is like this. You just have a foot scale. This is your only measure. So now, what is big, what is small? With this, okay, this one is 5 feet tall, that one is 6 feet tall, so that is a big man, this is a small woman, this is this, this is that. But now we got some other quantity. Let's say we got a liter of milk. You went there and with a foot scale, we spilled the milk. Now you measured nicely and said, this is 10 meters of milk. The 10 meter of milk can be stretched to 100 meters if we want. So there are different dimensions to life. For everything you have one measuring scale. Because of that, something becomes inferior, something becomes superior, something sacred, something filthy. Now, here, either everything is sacred, this is one way, or everything is filthy, that is also another way. So about coincidence of numbers, one aspect, I'll just cover it in two different ways. One aspect is there are only 9 digits. So repetition is very obvious because there are, 7 billion people and there are only 9 digits. How many times will it repeat itself? Naturally, it will repeat itself many, many times. But at the same time, if there are two people close to each other, let's say there are two people who love each other. Now, it may so happen, at a given moment, if one person is thinking of a certain thought, the other person is also thinking of the same thought. See, one person is picking a number which is 3, the other person is also picking number 3 because certain cohesiveness can easily happen with life. Not only with human beings, it can even happen with other creatures, it can happen with trees, it can happen with other animals. Among trees and animals also, this is very much there, much more than human beings. It is very little among human beings because there is too much of intellectual thought in the human being. In the other animals, there is not so much thought, so their synchronicity is way better than that of human beings because they experience life chemically or by smell. So because of that, there is a much more cohesive synchronicity among other creatures. If human beings hit a pitch among themselves, good for them, but don't give too much significance to it because then you will start imagining a whole lot of things which are unnecessary. But is there synchronicity with life? Of course. Otherwise, so many things wouldn't happen.